What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Infinite Gains, and we're back with the GME and AMC update video. I also posted on Twitter, so a lot of you guys have posted some tickers for me to check out. I'm going to be going over plug power, PCT soon, Lucid, PLTR, and XRP. Also, Bitcoin, Walgreens, Curve Finance, MSTR, MicroStrategy, and cost. So we're going to be going over a lot of different stocks, so lock in, boys. And, before we get into the video, so the Discord is going to be locked at 250 members. I think that we're at 225. So once we hit 250, it'll be locked. You can't join anymore. It'll be invite only. Maybe some news will come out about that, and maybe some developments will come about the Discord. So yeah, make sure you get into the Discord before it gets cut off. I may bump it up to 300. If more people were trying to join or something like that, but it'll be closed soon. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway. So like 250, 300 members, we'll be doing a giveaway. We'll do like $100, something like that. Just a little something for the holidays, something before Christmas, $100, little giveaway. Got to be in the Discord, and somebody in the Discord will get it. So anyways, Discord link will be in the comments and in the description as well. So, and make sure to check me out on x.com at Mystic Gains. But all right, so let's get into that video. So we're going to be going over GME first. Now, something huge happened with GameStop, right? So, that initial level that we talked about where, hey, we're going to be started making higher lows. And then I said we have to break 2450. We have to break 2450, which was our point of control. And so, literally what happened, we came up to test 2450, got that initial rejection, came back into that fair value gap and made a higher low, and then was able to break 2450. Now, once 2450 was broken, we got that, around 30% move to the upside, right? So we got that 30% move to the upside. Now, a unique opportunity here is that our point of control on the 4 hour has actually moved, right? Has moved from 2450 has moved to 2888. And so now breaking 2888, provides a unique opportunity for us. And I know that we had initially talked about that value area high being at 3080, which is now at 3025. So this zone right here provides a unique opportunity for some explosive price action for GME, right? And so, it's perfectly fine if price, wants to chop around in this zone for a little while. Let me see here. Let me get on my brush. So, we do have support. Even coming down to, 2786, even if you want to come down here. If we go to maybe the 1 hour, you could even come back down to the 1 hour point of control at 2733. That would be perfectly fine, even if you came back to this fair value gap at $27. So that's perfectly fine, right? Because you kind of have this high volume shelf right here at your point of control on the 1 hour. So you have this volume shelf that could act as support, and then try to retest that 2888. So that 2888 could provide to us another bout of, explosive price action, much like we saw whenever we broke 2450. Now, the super cool thing is that, if we do see that acceleration, let's go back to that 4 hours, is that if we are able to, kind of come back and consolidate in this kind of, flagging pattern that we see here, maybe come back down, retest that 27, and come back up and retest this value area high on our 4 hour, you're breaking your point of control and the value area high. at basically kind of the same range, right? The same kind of range in price action. Now, that's huge. That's huge. Because, I mean, you're essentially flagging out of this zone. And I know that it is kind of, you know, super choppy price action. It looks kind of weird. You went up and barely touched your fair value gap on the 4 hour, right? I mean, this is like picture perfect price action. Like, you literally come up, test your fair value gap, scoop orders below, retest your value area high at 30.80, and then come back down to consolidate. I mean, that's like, it was perfect. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. It literally doesn't get better than that on the 4 hour chart. So once this range is broken, I mean, you're breaking out of a big consolidation. Now, I will tell you one thing. 28.88 has to be broken. 30.25 has to be broken. And then on the daily, nothing will happen with GME. I don't care if Roaring Kitty posts. Like, I don't care if you're showing some, you know, freaking fractal or some shit that says, like, we're going to gap up or, like, we're going to moon in the next week or some shit. I don't care. Nothing will happen with GME. Nothing will happen until 34.10 is broken and we use it as support. Like, literally, nothing will happen. Like you have to break out of this zone at 34.10. Like, nothing will happen. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but you may even come back down and, you know, retest that 27 level before even going higher you kind of want to go down to be able to break. Like, you see here on the daily how you're hitting this fair value gap as resistance right at $30. So, like, to kind of be able to fully break this, you need to honestly, it would make sense if you came back to retest the $27 level even. I mean, I wouldn't even be opposed to that. I would not even be opposed to coming back down to test the $27 region that we talked about in the 1 hour, coming back up to fully break this fair value gap at $30. So you would have to break that point of control on the 4 hour at 28.88, 30.25, and then ultimately that 34.10, which is our mega level on the daily chart. So unfortunately, like, nothing will happen until 34.10 is broken. So, like, something like this, like you literally need to come back down, retest 34.10, and then you can try to launch. But 34.10 is going to be a huge level. Another huge level that, you know, that we've kind of been talking about on that weekly chart is that 28.27, which, you know, price is kind of getting stuck up on it, as you can see on this weekly 28.27. Is that is your weekly value area high. So, I mean, on this entire chart, your volume has been trading in this range, and so this is a huge breakout on the weekly above 28.27. So, ultimately, like, if you're kind of waiting to jump in, I would say probably above 30.25 would be good, and then ultimately for a larger move to the upside, that 34.10. Like, that 34.10 has to be broken. I'm sorry, like, it just has to. But this is very, very, very bullish price action. You know, you're coming up, your point of control has moved, so your volume has moved to this zone in which you are flagging, and that provides an explosive breakout in price. So, you know, again, as we talked about on that 1 hour, we could come back down to 27.33, and then you have support at 26.80. Really, so 27.33, $27, and then 26.80. You know, that's pretty solid support, I'd say, on the 1 hour. And then kind of allowing us to go back up and test that 28.88, which is our point of control on that 4 hour chart. All right, so that's GameStop. Let's go ahead and head to AMC. We're gonna kind of have to do rapid fire with these stocks because there's a ton of them, and like I don't have that much time, so we're gonna have to do kind of like rapid fire. So AMC, let's go down to that 4-hour chart. We should be hitting our value area low at 420. So we do want 420 to hold on this 4-hour, right? So you want 420 to hold and try to recover back into this channel and kind of build support here before you kind of want to come back up and retest 501. So 501, 572 are going to be your next levels on AMC. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this looks extremely kind of weird, right? You are kind of building this out, this kind of wedge, which is, this price action is a bit unusual. It is a bit unusual. I mean, you do see that, this kind of like, inverse head and shoulder pattern, but, this is a bit weird. This is a bit weird. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It just looks weird. It just looks weird, to be honest with you. But, we do want 420 to hold. If 420 doesn't hold, let's go to, we can check out the daily. What was that value area low? So the value area low on the daily chart, if 420 doesn't hold, and we're actually below 420 right now at 418, is 396. So you could come back down, hit that 396 and try to bounce back up, which kind of makes it does make sense structurally on the daily chart. Let's go down to the 1 hour and kind of get a better sense of what shorter term price action is kind of looking like. So, all right. So you do have support at 515 as well. You can kind of see volume is trying to increase here at this level. So, you could scoop down to hit 515 and try a reversal then. So really your level right now is it's either $4.15, $4 or $3.96, and really if this 420 to 415 level isn't holding, then I'm kind of inclined that you will go down to that daily value area low at 396. So I mean, unfortunately, this is just the way that it looks right now. And this price action is a little bit peculiar, to be honest with you, but yeah. So I'd watch out for that. I'd watch out for 415 or 396. 415 or 396. I mean, and then to the upside, you have to break 475 and then 816. 816 has to break. 816, I'd say, is kind of the equivalent of a GME. I don't want to say 3410, probably a little bit higher than that. 816 would kind of be probably the $40 equivalent of GME, possibly a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and look at costs. So again, costs that we talked about got rejected from that daily 100 SMA. It came back to test its 20 SMA and 50 SMA. And it's kind of just been chopping around in this pennant. We do have support at 659. So that's perfectly fine if these 20 and 50 simple moving averages hold. We could fall down to retest this pennant here. I don't know why this isn't working. All right, it's perfectly fine. So we could come back to retest this and then try to head back up. So you do have support currently at 716 and then 685 and then 660. So I'd be fine with that if we came back down, or even if we bounced currently off the 20 SMA at 716. So real resistance going to the upside, that's going to be 927 and 1132. So 1132 is going to be your major breakout level. If we do go to the daily, I think it was a daily. If my chart will update, try to go to that weekly chart. All right, it's not one to update, so we'll check on MSTR while cost is updating. All right, that's a little bit weird, seeing I've extended my limits, but I haven't. So MSTR, we hit that initial 1.618 extension from this high to this low. So we hit that 1.618 extension sitting at 543. Now, we had news that, what was it, MSTR is getting added to, what is it, QQQ or something. So, I mean, that's honestly pretty big news. I think they're taking the place, MSTR and Palantir, I think, is taking the place of SMCI and another stock I can't quite remember, but that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent exposure, and especially as Bitcoin is coming up, testing above 100,000 at 104,000. I mean, this thing could get extremely bullish. Is what we've been talking about, is that we want to kind of hold back on shorts and kind of wait. We shorted here, that was kind of a no-brainer, but we kind of further shorts, we kind of want to wait and see, can we make a new high? Can we test that 1.618 level again? Can we come up to test the 4.618 extension at 560? And I believe the share conversions hit at 672. Was that at 672? I think something insane like that. So I mean, you could hit the 5. I mean, this is not even a real level. We could say you could come back up to test this extreme extension level at 677. Honestly, if we make an all-time high, if we go above this all-time high, I will short again. I will short MSTR again. I think it would be a great short. I mean, this thing is already a bubble. It's getting help from the fact that it's getting added to an index, and also that Bitcoin is above 100,000. I do think that Bitcoin has more gas in the tank. I mean, at least to test this $107,000 level that I think we targeted that in our last video, and then we even targeted 116. So I mean, you are consolidating here. And you can try to break out of this consolidation to hit this 116 level, and then if 116 breaks, you could come all the way to 130,000. So, initial resistance will be 107,311 for Bitcoin, but I mean, it seems to be consolidating here. It looks perfectly fine for me. This looks like healthy price action. So I mean, it could come back down momentarily, maybe to come back and test, maybe 98,000. But I think ultimately this consolidation will break to the upside. And then we also do have ultimate support at this fair value gap at 95,000. So we'll kind of reevaluate once we kind of test that 107, but I do think kind of 116 Bitcoin is definitely in the play here, which is like kind of saying MSTR kind of has permission to run up again and try to make a new all-time high, which would be kind of insane. I don't know why kohrs is acting up like this. Maybe we can search it up here, try to load it up on another. All right, I don't know why it's freaking out like that, but we'll go ahead and look at Walgreens. I guess I have too many tabs open. Guess we'll close. Yeah, we'll close those. All right, shouldn't be messing with me now. All right, so we do have kohrs pulled up here. All right, we'll go to the random one, and then pull up kohrs. So this is our weekly kohrs chart, right? And so as you can see, our weekly point of control is sitting at currently 1797, which is where price initially literally skyrocketed, tested that point of control, and then came back down and consolidated, which is like, that's perfect. So our 20 SMA is sitting at 716. So you kind of have to find support here, or else you could drop back down to, this is your daily 200 SMA at 592, which is definitely not preferable. I mean, it's not my first option. my first option would be this. You come back down, you're already at support. If you can come up and chop around in this zone and then test your 4-hour point of control sitting at 931. This would be the preferred setup for costs. And honestly, it looks possible here because you literally pulled back into support. Like, you are in support currently. Next support would be 682 and 637. So this is kind of our preferred plan for costs. If we look at Walgreens, guys, we nailed this shit perfectly. We literally nailed Walgreens perfectly because it looked like a dead stock. I mean, it looked dead. And literally, we called it at $8. We're like, wait, hold on. On a weekly chart, not only are we hitting this very small fair value gap, but we are hitting our value area low at 808. So that was awesome. And then we said that, if we broke this point of control sitting at 923 on our weekly, it would allow us to be able to test higher levels. So our daily 200 is sitting at 1318. If we go to our daily chart, or maybe actually might want to go to our 4-hour. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this to me. Looks like we're gonna have to close some more tabs here. Let's look at Walgreens again. Walgreens. All right, so we're on our 4-hour chart. So next resistance level for Walgreens will be at 1185. If 1185 breaks, then we will hit our 200 SMA at 1318, and that'll be huge. That'll be huge because if we can flip 1318 and use it as support, maybe do something like this. Boom, and then retest, and then test 1318 and like try to flip it as support, like come back down and retest it, and then try to go test up higher. Like something like that. Something like that on Walgreens would make a lot of sense if this were a recovery. This company, I'm going to be honest with you, is struggling, and this would be a long-term play. But definitely something like that could play out, and then obviously we could just come back down to support at $9. Like $9 should be pretty strong support right now. That's your 4-hour point of control. All right, let's look at curved finance. Looks like we literally just pulled back into support right here to our fair value gap at $1.10. And so we do want to bounce here, reclaim 111 here. All right, I don't know why this thing is acted up on me. We'll use Tilray as a sacrifice. Delete these two. Close without saving. Don't need this. All right. And so, yeah, as you can see on our weekly chart, we did hit resistance here at $1.30, which was to be expected. And honestly, it looks like, we are consolidating. Let's go back to that 4-hour chart. And ultimately our 1-hour chart. Yeah, so it looks like we're pulling back into support. So yeah, again, as we said, $1.10 is our support. Now to break out of this range, this looks like healthy price action. This really does. I know we had this super weird wick where like we dove down, hit this fair value gap at 87 cents, and then like skyrocketed back up above that point of control, sitting at $1.10, which was super weird because kind of like all of crypto did that. But as you can see, we're literally just trading in this volume channel. So super simple price action. We're actually at support right now. If we can come back and retest, $1.26 is going to be your resistance before much higher price action, like $1.26. So $1.26. Ultimately, personally on the daily chart, this thing looks like it can run. Ultimately, I have targets up here of $2 to $3 on CRV. All right, we're going to start picking up the pace here a little bit because we have a ton to go over. Plug power. Someone asked about this in the Discord, and I went over it briefly, and it honestly, I think we talked about it literally right here, and as you can see, it tracked good. I mean, you can go in the Discord and we can see. So we're currently at support. Let's go down to our 4 hour, get a little bit better picture here. Yeah, this looks fine. Yeah, I'm fine with this. We have to come up and reclaim 263. Boom, use 263 support before we can move higher. But I mean, honestly, that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That looks pretty good, man. I mean, if you use 263 as support, yeah, you can definitely come up and test $5. I have no problem with that at all. I have no problem with testing $5. Retesting this kind of weird, gap up to that $5 level. Yeah, I have no problem with that. But you have to reclaim 263 first. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks fine to me. Let's go to our daily. Yeah, I mean, this thing could get real juicy, man. I'm not gonna lie. This thing has some juice in it, it looks like. To definitely test this $5 range. Yeah, 573. I'd definitely see that coming. I definitely see at least a test of this value area high at 409. I definitely see that much. So that's plug power. PCT. PCT looks like it pulled in support here. What are we on our daily? This looks like, I don't know. This looks a little weird. I feel like it could come back down a little bit. Honestly, I have not looked at this, but we did fill this gap, which is good. You maybe you would come back down in this at 1088, and then I'd be definitely a buyer to break out of this range, break out of this downtrend like this. But honestly, it hits support right now. Let me go down to the 4 hour and kind of check out what's going on here. Yeah, so it looks like it hit support on our 4 hour and the daily. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. You know, it's not, honestly, I don't know much about this stock, and I'm not, you know, it's not super clear. You know, I would enter here for a reversal. If we break 1149, if you come back and break 1149 and use that as resistance, then I think you just come back and test your value area low at 1004. But honestly, on your daily, you hit support and your 4 hour, so I'd be more interested in a bullish case, like reversal, like right here to the upside. But let's see, if 1150 breaks, then I'd say you're going down. You're going down to test 1080 or even lower. Probably take out this low. Yeah, so if 1150 breaks, I'd say bull case right now for reversal. But if 1150 breaks, I'd say you're probably going to try to take out this recent low and then try to come back up. Soon, yeah, this thing just looks overextended. It just looks overextended. But honestly, it looks like it's testing all-time highs. It just looks really overextended, man. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously resistance. Like, you're at resistance right now. Yeah, you're at resistance. You're at resistance. I'd say you can go a little bit higher, you know, because it is a little bit unusual that we're testing all-time highs here. So previous all-time high was 1821, and we're at 1941. Yeah, this is resistance. I'd say you can try to scoop in maybe another high here at 1773 before coming back down. I'd have to go to the 1 hour. This thing looks a little crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's just overextended. Yeah, this is a short. Yeah, this is coming back down, reversal to 1544, I'd say. 1544, and then we regroup. We regroup at 1544, but this looks like it's having some pretty explosive price action. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and it looks like it's broken out on the weekly chart. So this thing is kind of, I can't say one way or the other without knowing more about the stock. Yeah, I can't say. But I think a short-term time frame on the 4 hour. I think you can come back down to 15 and then try to make a new all-time high. right? So something like this, try to come back down to that 15 level and then try to reverse to make a new all-time high. But it's definitely in the oversold territory. I mean, I wouldn't be looking for like an insane long here. All right, Lucid daily. Looks like it wants to fill this gap, man. Looks like it wants to fill the gap. It looks hungry. It bounced off its value area low and then was able to fill this gap. Yeah, this thing looks hungry, man. This thing looks hungry to fill this gap at 333. This thing looks hungry. This thing looks like it's not playing around anymore. Yeah, I think so. 288 and then 333 is coming to try to fill that gap. Yeah, this thing looks pretty good. Yep, this thing is headed to 318. So 318 is going to be resistance here. So this thing is going to come up to 318, maybe come back and then retest $3 and maybe try to use 318 as support to retest these higher levels. But I think for now, it's definitely targeting this gap fill. It's definitely targeting 318. All right, just a few more. We got to like rapid fire. Holy what's going on with this? Oh yeah, Palantir. I remember. This thing had the same news as MSTR. You know, it's being listed in that index. So it's pretty bullish news. Let's go down that 4-hour chart. Wow. Yeah. It looks pretty bullish. I won't lie to you. Looks pretty bullish. I'd say $80 is next. $80, 82, 84. This thing looks bullish. I'm not like it just looks bullish. It's literally just trading in this channel. It's not doing much else. Whoa, why is it doing that? We're gonna have to get down to the 5 minutes. And we'll start with 15. All right, so it looks like 76.52 is going to be initial resistance, but I mean this thing looks like a reverse head and shoulder setup. So yeah, 76.52. If 76.52 breaks, you're going up to $80. $80 is going to be your next level for Palantir, and then we'll reevaluate at 80. XRP. XRP can come. I would honestly prefer XRP to come back down and retest 225. I would honestly prefer that. I would prefer that because I don't know. It looks like it gives more strength. Moving up prematurely is not necessarily good for XRP. I would like it because we've had such explosive price action. I mean, like, look at this. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy shit. You have to consolidate, and you know it doesn't necessarily have to, but you know I'd honestly say it would be better for price action. I'd say it'd be better for price action if it did. Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I want XRP to come back down to 225. Let's go to the 1 hour. Check it out. Yeah, so it looks like it's at resistance right now. Let's see, what is this? Yeah. I think it looks, yeah, it's at resistance. So 240 will be resistance. Now, yeah, 240 is resistance. I just think that it would just be better for XRP to come back down and test 222, 225. I mean, I think it would just give it more strength and then for it to finally break out. But I think a breakout will occur for XRP above 260, and then you're probably like literally targeting like $3 plus. I mean, and this thing would go crazy. But something like this, honestly, I do want it to come back down to test 225. I think it would just be better. Yeah, it would just be better for XRP. But 225 should be support, and 220. All right, that was like rapid fire. That was rapid fire. We went over a lot. I mean, if you guys want me to go more in detail, I know like that was super quick, and we didn't talk about like macro stuff and a lot of different stuff. But join the Discord, man, and you'll have access to me, and I can post more videos and post more TA for you guys in the Discord, and also join me on Twitter at Mr. Gains, MISTA. GAINZ, Mr. Gains on X.com, because I post updates there as well. But let's go back to GameStop. If you guys are still watching, if you guys are still with me, let's just try to like map out like this macro stuff. And we went over a lot of different price action, but something that I was kind of thinking of, this looks super similar to 2021, and I got to thinking, Kitty was talking about a requel, and a requel isn't a sequel. It's not like a next movie. It's literally a redo of the first movie, and this thing has been taking a long time, and I just give price levels, like 34.10. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I told you guys that nothing would happen with GME below 24.50. And once 24.50 was broken, we had a 30% move. Now I'm telling you again that nothing will happen with GameStop until 28.88 and 34.10 is broken. Like, those two levels have to be broken for a larger move to the upside. And so like nothing will happen before then. And I know that this has been taking a long time. And it honestly has taken longer than I expected, and probably everybody expected. And that's kind of why, like no fractal, like literally no trigger, like literally nothing will tell you when MOAS is. Like nothing is going to tell you. It is a waiting game. We can find certain setups and price in which we think hey, it looks like we're close, but we've been close. We've been close for months. Like, kind of the moral of the story is you kind of just don't over leverage yourself. Every single past video of mine, I've told you guys to not buy options. Don't buy options, because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna expire out of the money, right? And it's like I have told you guys to only buy shares to DCA, dollar cost average, and do that kind of unattractive investing. But I mean that's that's the name of the game. DCA, kick your feet back, man, because I do think that we're close, and it would kind of be funny that it does happen in December and January. That would be kind of funny, because the previous 2021 squeeze happened in January of 2021. And wouldn't it be kind of funny that, Roaring Kitty's kind of saying, this is a requel, and this is all happening at the same time? We had our first initial move in May, above that 200 SMA, and then you kind of have like this consolidation pattern here, and, price is literally consolidating over here, and then it's December into January, and that'd be kind of funny. We have a requel, so that would be kind of cool. I do think that this is the way that price action is kind of presenting itself. It does have a good chance to, within the next month or two, to come up and break 34.10, and then come up and break these insane price levels. I mean, it does have a good shot. But kind of the moral of the story is, don't over leverage. DCA, kick your feet up, and don't, kind of stress about this, 24/7. But I do think that would be kind of funny if it did happen in December and January, and it was literally like a requel, like the same exact shit happened, just 3 years apart. I think that would be pretty funny. Anyways. Man, we've gone over a ton of stuff, and if you guys have any question, hit me up in the Discord. I'll be available for you guys. But all right, that's the whole video. Peace out, y'all. Again, there's gonna be a giveaway in the Discord at 250 or 300 members. I'm closing it invite only. So make sure you guys join that. But peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good night and you have a good weekend.